I'm Starr Bauer, the judge of the 36th Judicial District Court, and I preside over cases in B County, Live Oak, and McMullen counties. I'm so pleased to have the opportunity today to talk about CASA for B, Live Oak, and McMullen counties. They have been such a blessing to us in this district. I began as an attorney, as an ad litem for these children, and these are children that have been removed from their home because of neglect and often abuse. As an ad litem, I was often faced with the conflict of my obligation to represent the children and what they want and what I felt or knew to be in the children's best interest. As an attorney ad litem, I realized that we had a true need for CASA volunteers who are not bound by any other obligation other than to find the best interest of the child. In 2013, I was appointed to the bench and was later elected to the bench, and Judge Watley and I made it a goal of ours to try to establish CASA in B, Live Oak, and McMullen. And with a lot of help from the community, as well as determination of our own, we were able to establish CASA here. Once established, our role then was just to step back and be the judge in these cases. And what I noticed as a judge with the CASA advocates, it was night and day. The children's best interests were absolutely being presented to the court in a very easy, methodical manner that made it much easier for me as the judge to make an informed decision about the best interest of the child. So often with Child Protective Services, the case worker changes from month to month, and these children that are placed in foster homes or in other placements, some of which are simply, large buildings with other children and not a home environment, they don't have one person to go to. The caseworker was constantly moving. With CASA, they have that one person, the one person that has their best interest at heart, and that person to contact and to confide in a very, very difficult and frightening time for these children. Further, the CASA worker has no obligation and no loyalty to anyone other than the child. And so when they come before the court gets the real picture. I know that the children here in B County and Live Oak and McMullen have greatly benefited, particularly in their placements because of CASA intervention. The CASA worker knows what a good placement is, what a bad placement is, and they know the personality of that child and where that child's going to flourish the best. I've also been very, very impressed with the management of CASA here in B County. I am the only district judge that's from B County, and CASA, while established, still had to struggle to find offices and staff as well as volunteers. And I have been so excited and so impressed at the management that Brenda Dees has shown in managing not only the volunteers and their time and their cases, but in conjunction with that, the donations that have been brought in and how to best serve that, to the extent that CASA now has their own office independent of the church that they were initially affiliated, or not really affiliated with, but officed in. And they've just grown by leaps and bounds. The volunteers have continued to come in, and they do a fabulous job. They take their position and their duties very seriously, and it has continued to thrive. And I hope to see it continue to thrive, because as wonderful as B County and Live Oak and McMullen County are, they are very modest. They are counties of very modest means. And so the enthusiasm that the volunteers have and the dedication, as well as the, to me, just wonderful management of of time and resources that CASA has just looks to be quite promising for the future. And it has made my time on the bench and my decisions as the judge in these children's lives and for these children's lives much easier, and I think just better decisions that have been made. So thank you so much for your consideration.